Erasmus Plus is the new European Union program for education, training, youth and sport. This program focuses on formal and informal learning across European Union borders to improve the skills and employability of students, professors and workers. The aims of the Erasmus Plus program in the field of education and training are to increase and support development of all levels of education and training, to strengthen the links among formal, informal and non-formal education and learning, to increase cooperation between education and labor market, to create added values for European education and a European dimension in education, to support cooperation in European countries in the education field. Erasmus Plus program also focuses on strengthening the potential of youth for active participation in civil society, development of leadership skills, solidarity and understanding among cultures. Erasmus Plus promotes recognition of qualifications in education, open access to education materials, documents and media created through funded projects, and international activity, multilingualism, equality and inclusion. Erasmus Plus program will cover the period from 2014 till 2020. The total funding allocation for the whole period is 14.7 billion euros. ANTER is a non-governmental organization founded in 2008. The aim is to support the long-term development of the environment and promoting a healthy lifestyle. ANTER is supporting any initiative of young people in the field of ecology, sport, and in other areas of social, civic, cultural, educational life. The objectives assumed by ANTER are focused on promoting a healthy lifestyle, especially through sport and outdoor activities, in order to ensure the sustainability and protection of the environment, supporting the social initiatives of youngsters, to attract new members, to develop cooperation and partnerships with organizations and public institutions in the field of youth, to sustain the active and responsible involvement of youth in the community.
In time, we developed a lot of projects, not only in local area but also in European area. We have more experience in more than 20 campaigns of fundraising or paying attention about different social needs. We have a lot of projects, of course not only EVS, funded generally by European Commission. In Youth in Action, how was the previous program, and Erasmus Plus, how is now. I also developed other funded projects in other areas, so our experience is covering more fields around Craiova and not only. ANTER was created because of a dream to protect some natural areas around Dolj County, but in the end we found out that we have not only these issues around us, we have also a lot of other issues. Reason of which we developed all of those projects that I was telling you about. Our first EVS was done in 2011, and even if we didn't have enough experience, we've done the first sending EVS in Africa. So it was a challenge for us, and from here started an adventure. Right now ANTER is following the social needs not only of Craiova but also of Romania, but of course basically in Craiova. Most of it are already underlined by our local partners, our local collaborations during years, as was for example Purple Project, which was underlined by the schools that we are working with. They realized how important is nowadays the problem with different gaps in society, why people and especially children are having this behavior and what is going on. So that's why they told us about all of these issues, and since we wanted to put it in common with other social issues, we created Purple, which is related not only to bullying in school but also to LGBT area and problems, and also with social dialogue or religious dialogue. So we somehow accumulated all the problems in one name, Purple Project.
About ecology, we developed a project, really nice. Was from promoting the idea about recycle and respect of the nature. Was divided in two parts. This one theoretically and one practice. The theoretically was go to the school, elementary school and kindergarten, and speak and make some activity about nature and recycle. The practical stuff was about cleaning some place in the countryside and plant some tree in the school and in the countryside. Other target of Antara Association is about people with special needs. This summer we finished a project with a prisoner. The name was Restart Project, and means that you can give a second chance to the prisoner. It was really interesting and interactive. Every day we had activity inside the prison about theater, about football game or handcrafting. And the last event was about flash mob. So we prepared with the prisoner a flash mob, and we did it in a city center. So also the prisoner had the occasion to go out for the prison. It was really exciting for them. Good project.
To the events we had with different projects in the organization Anter, people are, some of them are open to the idea that the project are coming with, but also there are people that don't really accept it or aren't really interested in the topics that the events have. For example, we worked with youngsters from penitentiary. And during Christmas we had an event in which people didn't really wanted to participate because they have the preconceived idea that people from the penitentiary are bad people and they can't become good people. But in another project that was taking place in schools and high schools, the students were reacting really good because they were happy to see new faces, new people that were younger than their teachers, that they brought new ideas, they had different fun activities, and they were more involved in their activities. And also in this area, some of them didn't really want to take part because they are not so open to new ideas, to new kind of things.
We are 7 volunteers of the Purple Project, and we represent such countries as Georgia, Ukraine, Russia and Jordan. Our stage lasts 5 months. Purple works with children and youngsters, lead and create sport activities, gain new knowledge and experience, take part in the social life of the community and try to do unusual things, generate new ideas. That's why we decided to participate in such kind of project, and thanks to Erasmus Plus program, we can realize it. We hope that after us, the world will become a little bit better and people will remember us with a smile on their faces. In general, there are 4 points of our activities: interculturality and equality through dialogue and communication. Using this topic, we worked with children and teenagers in 2 schools and 2 high schools, and we paced with them lessons, presentations about intercultural education, LGBT and preventing of bullying, interethnic and interreligious dialogue, diversity in the context of the European values. We tried to show people how important these problems are and how they can handle with them. The Creative Practical Workshop, where we renew with people's clothes and showed through them European values, democracy, peace, tolerance, diversity, etc. In Purple Club, all of us had an opportunity to work with people with autism in the special center. We spent our time together by playing board games, visited Romanescu Park, and played in different games. We summarize and explain in creating documentary movie and brochures what we do during our work and research, what we reached already, and what we want to discover. We also prepared some interviews which touched all our topics and tried to show different options of Romania, different points of views. We participated and organized events on Europe's Day, International Children's Day, Friendship Day, International Youth Day. We also created and led games and sport activities, took a part in Global Village. At this event, we presented culture, traditions, music and dances of other countries with volunteers from ISEC organization.
LGBT is an initialism that introduces lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender. All these people are part of the big community which includes also LGBT supportive people, organization and subculture united by a common culture and social movement. These communities generally celebrate pride, diversity, individuality and sexuality. As ordinary we use term gay for men and lesbian for women. But term gay present people from same sex who like each other, no matter man or woman. The society also often confuses about transgender, transvestite and transsexual. As ordinary people use term transvestite for a person who wear clothes of another sex or have behavior which traditionally belong to another sex. Transsexual is a people who want to change them sex or did it already. Transgender, unlike transsexual, is a more general term that includes transvestite, transsexual and anyone else who doesn't conform to typical gender roles. Same-sex relationships can be found in almost every culture, every country and every historical period, from Japan to Greece and Italy, from ancient to our time. Many well-known persons had or have untraditional sexual orientation. For example, Alexander the Great, Leonardo da Vinci, Freddie Mercury or Ricky Martin. The LGBT community is frequently associated with certain symbols as rainbow flags. We had lesson in two schools devoted LGBT question in modern life. And during this meeting, we showed some presentation, played games, and discussed such important topic nowadays. We asked students and people whom we met during our project what they know about LGBT and how they react on this. Many people become more loyal to this community, but in any case have some stereotypes and misunderstandings. Like, they said they can accept gay in general, but not as them child or close friend. To explain all these aspects, we are now here and work on the Purple project. Bullying is if someone force, treat or abuse, intimidate or aggressively dominate others. There are some types of bullying like individual, physical, verbal, cyberbullying, collective or mobbing. No one can be protected from bullying and everyone can face with this situation. But the main point is that we should know how to solve this problem, how to help yourself and other people. Victims of the bullying certainly share these characteristics like low self-confidence, fearfulness, submissiveness, depression or fat appearance, feelings of helplessness, self-blame of problems, poor social skills, low popularity, few or no friends. The categories that are most often exposed to bullying in the school is peer student, top of the class student, the teacher's pet, physically weak student, scholar, suffering from disease, representatives of sexual minorities. There are several ways to stop bullying, such as tell family or teachers. Maybe sounds a little silly, but in any case adults know better how to solve some kind of problem. To be confident. No one can be abused if you believe in yourself. If you respect yourself, others will respect you too. Join leadership activities. If you will take responsibility, people will respect you. People will follow you. Control yourself. The main point of the keep internal balance. Take it easy. Don't pay much attention. Make others a friend. If you have friends, it means that someone always protects you back and will support you.
Do you know why people like violence? It is because it feels good. Humans find violence deeply satisfying. But remove the satisfaction, the act becomes hollow.
Chewing? Come on. Don't be such a kike about it. Leave the bloody robot.
We tried to show how important and actual is bullying today. That this problem is present in every society, in every community and group of the people. That's why we should talk about this. We had lessons in the school. We devoted event to this project like flash mob, stop intolerance. We made video and brochure for make people aware about this topic.
In every part of the world, people are united around ideas which came from all times. We belong to ethnics, nations, and we recognize ourselves as a part of some social groups. Society creates and accepts ideas which are normal and non opposite to the main and fundamental values that the groups and cultures are based on. Now, there are about 4,000 ethnic groups in the world. They are united in the bigger groups by the common elements such as genetics, language, and so on. In the earlier times of genesis of nations and ethnics, religious and ethnic imaginations were not distinguished, and sometimes they are still connected, like in the case of Jewry and Judaism. But later, some religions appeared and were admired in many countries by the people from different ethnic groups and cultures. Religions like Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, and etc. are accepted because of cultures and ethnic norms were agreed to their doctrines, rules of social actings mainly.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله
Nowadays, a number of religions are almost 10,000 in the world, and 115 from them has a number of believers, 1 million or more. The largest religions in the world are Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism. These religions are divided by many confessions. For example, term Christianity includes such different confessions as Orthodoxy, Roman Catholicism, and Protestantism, and so on. Most of the religions and ethnic groups have common values, history, or genesis. For example, Christianity is connected to Judaism, and Islam is connected to both of them. Countries in Middle East have a common language, religion, and mainly common culture. But what happens when they communicate with other nations from America or Europe? What do they have mutual that they can base their relationship on? Here, recognize how important interreligious and interethnic dialogue is. And even among such large and different doctrines, we can find many common values and rules of thinking which helps us to live with different people together in peace.
The largest thoughtful, powerful project is dialogue and communication and the activities connected with it. When we started working with children, in the schools, it was difficult for us to imagine how to explain to children the importance of understanding other ethnics, other religions, other cultures, and then we tried to show them examples from the world history and tell them about ourselves, how we live and work together. People from different countries, different cultures, and we were standing in front of them, real people, so different and similar at the same time. And then that was the thing that we need. They followed us, and at every next lesson they tried to make us wonder of their knowledge about our countries, our religions, and so on.
Intercultural education is the acquisition or transfer of knowledge about other cultures. It is necessary to understand people from different countries and cultures, adapt to other societies, live without conflict, develop professional skills, science or your business abroad. Thanks to him, process of globalization increases in all aspects, economic, political, cultural, and religions, which creates more opportunities. According to statistics, 10% of the world's population never in his life left his region, 30% of the country and 60% did not go beyond a couple of neighboring countries, and this despite the fact that traveling is at birthplace of hobbies in a resume when they applying for a job. Intercultural dialogue leads to a better understanding of the world situations in general, in international relations in particular, helps to resolve conflicts. Intercultural education helps us to learn and adapt to other countries, their language, religion, laws and history. Language as a way of obtaining and transmitting information is very important in the structure of intercultural communication. In addition, it consists of elements of the culture of the country and can show us what in common and different is even very similar or diametrically opposite countries. Relationship between intercultural education and religion is very important. In daily life, we often don't realize even how strong this relationship is. If you know something about the religion of the locals, you will be able to understand their culture, customs, and national characteristics. Not knowing the laws is no excuse. How often have you heard this phrase? Although the aim of laws is to protect the person, his right and freedom, is better to understand features of laws in each country. It helps you to understand better their culture and also not to be trapped. For example, if you will to change a light bulb in Australia by yourself, you can receive fine there. How does history help us in the present time and future? There are many countries with common history and values, and when we study history, we can prevent risk in the future such as wars, of revolutions, or multiply the good thing or progress. The most common ways of intercultural learning now is to communicate with foreigners in their own country and travel to other countries. But most often, it is also the most ineffective ways, because a large part of travel tours is uninclusive, where the guides speak on your language. It is better when you have the opportunity to deep in their knowledge of another culture. Such ways include volunteering, youth exchange programs, and work programs. We, as international volunteers living here, not only deeply immerse in the culture and customs of Romania, but also introduce to Romanians traditions of other countries. Among us and locality community. We also conducted classes for students on various topics, not only about intercultural education, but it had a reflex in each lesson, because we needed to adapt to local youth and then to get used to us. This process is over. Classes too, but we still keep in touch for greetings when meeting and chatting in electronics network. Isn't this intercultural dialogue in action?
It is not a movement of parties, but a movement of peoples. It must be all for all. Europe can only be united by the heartfelt wish and vehement expression of the great majority of all the peoples, in all the parties, in all the freedom-loving countries, no matter where they dwell or how they vote. We cannot aim at anything less than the union of Europe as a whole, and we look forward with confidence to the day when that union will be achieved.
The main idea of European Union is to unite all members, but in the same time to protect their cultures, traditions and languages. People should respect other cultures. Therefore, for this, they should understand them before. Exchanging programs and international projects are one of the best ways to do this. Every time when people move within the European Union and come back to their homelands, they bring with them some new ideas and practices they got during their stay. European values are the ideological background of European Union. Freedom, equality, tolerance and solidarity are universal principles of humanity. It is how each person should behave. European Union spreads these values among its countries and stimulates them to work together, although in the past they had conflicts. At all our activities, we proved the diversity of our cultures. We are so different but similar in the same time. People from other countries are coming to Romania and work in EVS program to share their experience and learn something from local community. Volunteers understand that although in foreign country it's very easy to find new friends and have a great time. Purple Project participated in 2 global village events. Each member represented his country and showed others what is his country's futures. It's the striking example of diversity in European context, which is one of our topics. When Purple worked in schools, one of the activities was a creative workshop. Its gain was to show students what are European values and to connect this concept to clothes that they created themselves. Also, when we communicated with students in schools, we told them about our homelands. Mostly, they didn't even know where countries are from which volunteers came. We showed them cultural diversity through dialogue, and maybe they remembered something from what we said. At schools, we faced 2 different problems. For example, children who were 11-12 years old could not understand exactly the idea of European values. Also, it was hard for them to connect their costumes to values. It is extremely important to develop intercultural and interreligious dialogue, both on the personal level and on the level of the country. That's why we are in Romania and do our job.
We live in a world where we have many religion and many culture, and this is the truth of the life. Come and think. Please think. Just once about our difference. I agree, all we are different but similar in the same time. If you will accept the idea of equality, just once we won't have racism anymore. And we can do it because we are really the same. We are volunteers from different country, different culture, and different religion. Although we have this difference, we live together and we love each other far away of any discriminations and without any biases and stereotypes. So, after we try the life in pieces between diversity of culture and principles of the life, I want to ask you some question. Can all the people do it? Can we integrate equality in our society? Let's live in the world together and let's share our knowledge and opinions to spread the peace and patience among us. We came here as volunteers to change and improve ourselves at first and try to change people around us. To make this world better, beginning with us, our family and friends, and ending with all the society. I am sure you can do it too. You can change this world, so let's do it.
Start wearing purple, wearing purple. Start wearing purple for me now. All your sanity and wits, they will all vanish.
I know you cannot hold it like this because your hands
Simon, W1, action.
I know you since you were at 20. I was 20 and thought that some years from now a purple little lady will be perfect for dirty old and useless clown. So yeah, start wearing purple, wearing purple. Start wearing purple. All your sanity and wits, they will all vanish. I promise. It's just a matter of time. I know it all from Diogenes to the Foucault, from Ложечкин to Паспарту. И я клянусь, обоссав два пальца, что ты, что музыка пошла от звука в